Friends, I am Olivia Robertson of the Druid clan of Dana, and I invite you to join with us in the initiation of an Ardri, a Druid, during the month of Lunasa, month dedicated to the god Luch and his divine mother, the goddess Tantra. Anoint your brow with water. Lean back. Do not lose consciousness, but visualize yourself rising in your body and moving back in time to the time of Lunasa in the land of Inish Foyle, Ireland, Era, the goddess Era, land of destiny. You find yourself floating over an island in the sea, and in the southeast corner is a light, and the light shines in a wooded valley between two rivers, and you approach this light, and you begin to sink down above a grey crenellated castle which has been concealed by trees, and you come into a Victorian conservatory with the most wonderful vine with ripening grapes, 400 years old, from the Hampton Court vine planted by Cardinal Wolsey. This lovely cutting gives grapes that were drunk by many a queen. And there is a company assembled there, and they discuss the meaning of the right to the candidate Chris O'Regan. With him is his wife, Ard Bandri Vivian O'Regan, and I myself and my dear brother Ardri, the Reverend Lawrence Durden Robertson. Lawrence expresses his pleasure at welcoming the company and is looking forward to the initiation of Chris.
Welcome, and Chris O'Regan is welcome to the initiation of our degree.
Now Vivian begins to tell her husband about the Druid clan.
Companions of the Druid clan of Dana, live as if this were the golden age now, and so it is in the inner planes. When we open our spiritual sense through our etheric life energy, we see, hear, travel, enjoy life in the land of heart's desire. The key is love. And this consciousness expands. It affects family, friends, and neighborhood. Even the cat smiles. Radiations from a grove, whether this be in city or countryside, healed worldly ills through the aura of humans, animals, trees, and stones. Communion with the deities, with the she, elemental beings, and friend in spirit is enjoyed. There is no death. Once the soul learns to leave the body in full consciousness, our true selves are of the immortals. Disease, hatred, jealousy, and fear are dissolved as we awaken from the world dream which we ourselves have created. We see through the worldly veil and discover the ever-living body, Earth, body of the goddess.
The candidate now speaks.
In our grove,
of Ethne in Conagore, we honour all true traditions in every race and religion. We respect Ireland's many ways, from the pre-Christian Furbolgs and Fomorians to the Rite of Dana and Celtic Christians.
Dana has showed herself to me, and so I follow her way. Her hair is of the sun, her skin as pale as the moon, and her turquoise blue mantle surrounds islands as the sea. Yet she may appear with golden ebony skin of Africa, or with the copper glow of the Miles. She is both Earth Mother and Queen of Heaven. I saw her sinking into the depths. I went below sleep. Usually I've seen goddesses in full consciousness. Here I fell right down into some depth below sleep. And there this divine image came and gave a kind of happiness that no other deity appears to bring. Each deity has their own gift for us. My own vision was in 1952. From 1960 to 1974, the goddess came to us regularly with messages from spiritualist seances in the beach house in Clonagore. It was then that I was given her name, Dana. Our medium was our friend Dorothy Ryan. The visitations were accompanied by strong silvery electric power. It was really almost overwhelming the first time. We had to hold hands somehow to channel it. After my brother and I had founded the Fellowship of Isis in 1976, Dana showed herself to our priestess, Sandra Ramdani. The rest of us, Morgan and Kent Benedict, Shasta Zering of our priesthood, a friend of Sandra and myself, heard angelic chanting. This was from deep men's voices, alternating with contralto women's voices. It seemed to me the men sounded like a lot of bass shaliarpins, and the women had the golden voices of mezzo-sopranos, Catherine Ferrier. This actually lasted for 15 minutes and was also heard, funnily enough, by a very Catholic Knight of Malta. The goddess has also shown herself to our Wicklow neighbour, John Doran, the famous healer, seventh son of a seventh son. As John and I meditated, she gave me this message through him: "Go on, do well, preach my name." Our own family goes deep back into Irish Celtic tradition. We belong to the clan Donaghy of Ireland, which emigrated to Scotland about 1500 years ago. Later the name Donaghy, Duncan, was changed to Robertson. Our branch returned to Ireland when my grandfather, Herbert Robertson MP, married Henry Durden, the owner of Clonagore Castle, which was built by Lord Esmond, who married the granddaughter of Grania Whale, Queen of Connaught, pirate queen. Her name was Eilish O'Flaherty. She still appears in spirit by a spy bush. My grandfather could be called an honorary Druid because of his monumental work, Stemeter Robertson, tracing our Gaelic ancestry. Our cousin, the author Robert Graves, also undertook Druid work by listing the Druid tree alphabet.
Clonagore Castle lies on the banks of the River Derry, Dore, the grove of the oak. Upstream before it joins the Slainty River of Healing. Matriarchal centres were situated between the two rivers on the crow's foot, the Macha, crone form of the goddess Morgan. Such is the site of the castle matrix, where dwelt the wizard Earl of Desmond. The confluence of our true rivers gives the name of our village, Clonagall, Cloan y Gabla, named after Ethan of the Long Fork. The Morgan, in virgin form, is the Bab. As the great queen, she spans the river with her legs, as she unites with her husband, the Dagda Mór. She has been seen in the castle grounds by a priest of Rhiannon, John Matthews. She showed herself to him between the two yew trees, before the pre-diluvian Mount Leinster. She had long black hair and a red robe. We had been performing the ceremonial magic of Mars and the Morgan.
In our field bordering the Derry is our ancient Vaughan stone. Thousands of years ago this was used for grinding corn, so forming a cup which holds healing rainwater. The power is always in the stone, the water carries it. It was sacred to the sun and grain goddess, Grania. It's still used for curing warts and has, of course, cured cancer by local people. It was joined at the turn of the century by a meteorite that landed by our avenue and glowed for 2 years. Rooks sat on it warming their behinds. A meteorite is a legendary marker for a holy place. Within our Temple of Isis, in the castle, is a holy well traditionally associated with the bronze stone. The castle was built around it in 1625, so our ancestors have always drunk from its healing water. The well is dedicated to the goddess Brigid. We use it for everyday drinking, ritual and healing, and promoting psychic vision. My brother Lawrence and I discovered the ancient paganism of Ireland when we were children in the early 30s. We used to go by donkey cart upstream by the Slaney to visit a hermit, Daniel Fox. You remember Dan Fox, don't you, Derek?
Yes.
Mr. Fox was our local Merlin. As he and I sat over a fire in his cottage, he would tell me of his visions of pagan people who lived by the river thousands of years ago. He would see and hear them, he said, as they rose at early dawn. They would drink from a well, bathe in the river, and then assemble at an altar stone, high on the steep slope of the bank. There they would wait for the sun to rise across the river. Mr. Fox would show me the altar and well every time I visited him. He kept them clear. The true ritual is in eternity and therefore may ever be tapped into. When I was 16, I painted pictures of the ancient ceremony as he had described it. Now we have been joined by Cara Marguerite Drusilla, Baron Genevieve Irish, who is an Aunt Ban Dree in Massachusetts. She now tells our candidate more.
We practiced Druid rituals in the old abbey, a ruin filled with flowery shrubs and rambling roses. Parts of it date from the 14th century, the same date as our year walk that borders the wilderness. We have there a dome and altar and 2 marble vessels containing rainwater. We began using this for rituals in 1963 when Philip Ross Nichols, chosen chief of the English Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids, would join us in the downing ceremonies. His successor, Philip Cargon, also worked with us during the late 60s and 70s. Nowadays, the Hernach Brady of that name, of the pre-Druid megalithic order, performs Irish ceremonies in Gaelic. This language is essential for Druid rituals. We use Vaughan stone, well, yew-walk, and wilderness in our magical workings. Our purpose is to move directly from the ancient Irish oral tradition to the telepathic communion of the new aeon. The goddess Dana, mother of the goddesses of Ireland and of us all, bestow on us her gifts now that we are prepared to make good use of them.
The R.G. Lawrence Durden Robertson declares that the first part of initiation at the Druid Abbey of Dana should be undertaken.
That's the first part of the Druid initiation of Chris O'Regan out to sea.
Noel Daly, priest of Isis, guardian, bard, now heads the procession down a long, winding steps. He asks the candidate, is he prepared to face the coming ordeal of Dana?
Candidate, are you prepared to face the ordeal of Dana?
With her help, I am.
candidate now expresses his intention as regards the element of air and earth, the plant realm.
To my healing with herbs and plants, I give my healing. Though the air in the cities is polluted, I use my strength and my will and my ability to heal to bring the land back to what it should be, to what it will be.
The guardian now leads the procession down long granite winding steps past a statue of Atalanta of Atlantis. They move down a long line of Irish Florence court yews facing a belvedere, pass an incense tree and take some incense on their fingers and rub it, and they present it to the candidate. Now they rise a little and approach the beautiful ruined Abbey of Dana, open to the sky, that represents our ruined earth, which is being replenished now with beautiful flowering plants. The guardian stands before the winding maze-like entrance to the abbey, holding his druidic staff sideways, barring the progress of the candidate, and he asks him, what faith has he in the existence of the goddess Dana, mother of the goddesses and gods of Ireland?
Candidate, describe the nature of your belief in the goddess Dana.
I believe in the goddess as I believe in the stone, as I believe in the sky. They are, therefore I believe.
Goddess accepts your belief.
The guardian guides the candidate through twisting stone walls into the abbey itself. He leads them past fuchsia bushes of Ireland and rambling roses and sarcococcus, right up to the dolmen altar. By it is well water in a stone cauldron. He now turns and faces him and asks him who are his soul friends, because you cannot just love animals like that. You can only telepathize with them if you love one or two animals, as we love one or two humans who symbolize all humanity.
Candidate, who among stones is your soul friend?
I choose the crystal of quartz as my soul friend.
And who among plants do you follow?
The healing plant of mind and body, the lavender.
And of trees?
Of trees, the ash of old.
And of insects?
Of insects, the working ant.
And of those who dwell in the sea, the fish?
Of the sea dwellers, I choose the dolphin.
And of those who creep upon the earth and lie and bask in the sun, the reptile?
The snake.
And of those who soar and fly, birds?
The noble kingfisher.
And those who walk on 4 feet, animals?
The knowing hedge pig.
And that which dwells in the firmament, of which star do you seek?
I choose Sirius.
Now, in dedication to this work, the candidate plants a bush. I can't quite see what it is. What is it, Chris?
It is a holly tree.
We need a holly tree. Thank you. He plants a holly bush. It doesn't look quite anything. It's so small. And then he waters it, cupping the water from his hands and sprinkling it round it. Here are all plants put by initiates of the Druid order. But suddenly a more solemn feeling comes over everyone. The goddess Dana is invoked.
I invoke the goddess Dana.
We all gaze above the altar. There's a shimmering in the sky to those who are psychic, and golden light is coming down. The majestic form of Dana is seen by some and felt by all. We wait.
You need to return to your roots in order to grow. It is through love of those living with you that you attain greater love, and not through sport in your family. It is from your children that you may again learn the language of birds and trees, and through your grandparents that you may hear the music of the spheres. As you develop the magical language of the angels, you will find your own spiritual family. It comprises humans, deities, nature spirits, animals, trees and stones, not only on this planet, but from the stars. Such families are constellations in the great galaxy. Night of the dawning came from the sky, yet also dwelled in the hidden sun at the earth's matrix. The golden light shines about you, resplendent in the matriarchal darkness. Not a alien will always known and loved. You are kin to all beings in the cosmos, and all are kin to me.
There is an awestruck silence as the heavenly singing of Dana grants us communion with the land of heart's desire. I present the successful candidate with a rose, and I say, take this rose, for your heart jewel is opened. Here, Vivian and Chris, who have married by the Isis wedding rite, stand before the dolmen altar of Dana. They put their two hands together until a magical current is worked between them. Then they face out, palms uplifted, and send forth love and joy to all beings.
From the heart of the world, the heart of air, may love and blessings flow forth to all beings and all existences.
We are one with the goddess, and she is one with all. We are as one.
This would seem the end of the initiation. It is of heaven, joy, happiness, heaven upon earth, the earthly paradise. So we all sink into a beautiful meditation guided by the priestess of Dharma Kara. She tells of the joys of the land of youth presided over by Dana.
The land of heart's desire, of beauty, truth, and glory, where darkness is sweet, and the beginning is the end, is the beginning again. Forever is forever, nothing is lost. All growing, all becoming, coming and going and coming again, like the brilliant red rose and the white rose of creativity. All is lovely, kind, gentle, brave and strong. The world is forever, the universe beyond. There is no end. There is only forever. Follow. Follow your dream, your heart's desire. Follow your dream. Come, come, come to me. Come, 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 come to me. Come to me. Come to me.
We now are in heaven on earth. The heaven is between seconds and may be experienced at any time while seated in a circle before the dolmen altar, experiencing the words creating a vision. And this vision is that in the darkest, ugliest place we may create beauty. In a hard office full of machines we may slip into the land of heart's desire and bring back with us the silver branch with the golden apples, the sun. For Demeter, Dana, sank into the underworld to seek her lost daughter, Persephone, Macha, Morrigan. As the seed sinks into the earth and then grows, so the soul must sink into the depths, suffer, experience, learn, in order to attain the glory of heaven. We are allowed a foretaste of heaven here, for whatever trials are going to face us. Join then with the candidate in this oasis of happiness before he faces further trials to undertake his part in the divine plan for all life. Visualize yourself in your own land of heart's desire. Form an oasis about yourself. All heaven is in a flower. All love is in one human being, in one dog, one cat. Dana shines in the sky. Her hair is the sun. She's crowned with the stars. She standeth upon the moon, and about her is her garment, the flowers, trees, the earth. There is a sun within the earth, which is child to the parent sun in the sky. Bliss is always now, never yesterday or tomorrow, for now is eternal. All our sufferings in this earth fade. Evil does not exist in heaven. The only reality in the world is the choices we make between good and evil. It is a choice between reality and lies, falsehood. A choice between eternity and the troublesome cycles of time. A choice to choose all heaven or mark out one tiny place and fight for it. The universe is ours. Dana is touching me now. Friends, we are seated in ecstatic meditation in the Rite of Dana, but suddenly the sun is hidden by clouds. What's happening? Storm clouds overhead. All rise to their feet. We thought all was over, but the Archdruid thinks otherwise. He declares that the second ordeal, that of the goddess Morrigan, Maka the Crow, is to be undertaken.
Let the second initiation of Morrigan, the Black Crow, now be undertaken.
Now I place a black veil, a black hood, over the head of the candidate, and the guardian addresses him.
Candidate, are you prepared to face the ordeal of the Morrigan and of her dark powers?
My heart is pure. I will go on.
The guardian now asks him, will he tread the labyrinth and find the hidden fire of the Morrigan?
Candidate, prepare now to enter the labyrinth and to seek and search among its wily ways for the hidden fire.
Can you face the ordeal of storm and fire?
With the Morrigan's help, I can.
Now the guardian, as the very elements begin to change and the drizzle falls, leads the candidate down to a dark place, the hidden doorway to the abbey where are two dark cells where once monks meditated. And the candidate is led, followed by the procession, towards a long dark line of English yew trees, mostly associated with graveyards. They first make procession down a line of lime trees on the left into a field where sheep are grazing. They descend the grass and reach the Boulogne stone. The candidate places his hands on it, and the guardian tells him to anoint his brow with water to give him strength to face the ordeal.
I give you strength and power, and I anoint you, so that you may face and be strengthened in this ordeal.
Let the waters give me strength to face what lies ahead.
So mote it be.
The procession makes its way to a weedy place by the avenue, and all go on their knees and place their hands on the ground at a hidden secret spot. And the guardian tells the candidate that below is a hidden meteor, and that he should respect the inner fires of the earth. It is radioactive from outer space.
Be wary and warned of where you tread. Tread with care and courage, and tread with kindness and good regard for all things.
That which is from the stars gives me no fear, for it is true, it is of the goddess.
You have spoken wisely.
Now a procession is formed to make its way to the grove of the Morrigan. The company slowly rise, following the line of a hill until they face the entrance to the yew walk leading to the southwest of Mount Leinster, our sacred mountain. Follow them down this long, dark yew walk, hope and confidence in you. The procession suddenly swings to the left and goes downwards into a wilderness, passing ancient trees, the oak, the ash, the thorn of Aaron. They go down further still. Suddenly they face two cypress trees, and before it the guardian stands with his staff, barring the way to the holy grove of the goddess Morrigan. He challenges the candidate.
Candidate, I challenge you, before you enter the grove of the Morrigan, to tread so very carefully and remember into whose presence you are now about to come.
I respect and honour the Morrigan.
She is pleased.
We do not feel fear, rather we feel a holy elation if we are admitted to this grove. We see a fire is burning in a great circle of cypress trees which reach right into the sky, the darkened sky, but no rain reaches here. Suddenly we stop, because at the foot of the altar tree is a seated figure completely robed in black. The priest invokes the Morrigan of the element of fire.
We invoke the Morrigan. We offer incense to the goddess and to her consort the Dagda. Remember, candidate, you will now soon be her kin.
We wait, will we be granted the oracle of the Morrigan, who very seldom speak. But now a different power comes, not that of the silvery light of Dana from above. We're looking in the wrong place. Suddenly we look down, and from the pine needles, reddish brown of the grove, comes many colours. First black like steel, then it becomes red, yellow, orange, far exceeding in colour the earthly fire, and it rises upwards into the sky, and we are granted the oracle. Seek the prophetic gifts, and all else will be added to you. For in my future lies my present and my past. For the greater contains the lesser, and in my great age of eons lies my youth and my queenship. To hold the sword of the ruler is good, but it is wisdom that declares how the sword should be used.
and it is the compassion of the Virgin that sheathes the sword. The hollow of the scabbard contains the sword, as the womb of the mother contains the kingly warrior. So, if you would be great, look before you into your future, for there you shall be in your fullness and completion, ruler of many selves. And foreknowledge even of doom teaches the inevitable sequence of cause and effect, the result of good and evil actions, so that you will learn to pursue a virtuous and honorable course in life. Knowledge of my secret of sudden death brings understanding of your own immortality. My right foot stands firm upon the earth, as I stand over the dividing river of life and death, and my left foot is rooted in the land of the She and the world of spirits. Yet am I ever the same. If you see me in my innocent youth, washing your clothes from all stain and sorrow, do not be afraid, but cross by the stepping stones of my ford to the other world. Know that those who accept me may return again safely to earthly life. Remember, because you must, as I call you to arduous service in the world where I am queen. As such I am both wife and mother, and desire that the earth shall be replenished with my children. But when I appear to you as the Ancient One, your initiation is nigh. Then, too, you will feel the inner fire and shall prophesy, and people will flee from you as they flee from me, for the children of men fear enchantment more than they fear pain and death. But for you, enchantment will draw forth your greater being, which is immortal. Remember, my messenger is the blue-black raven.
Most odd. We have 2 ravens in the wilderness, and one of them is flying over. Full of awe, we give thanks to the Morrigan in our hearts, and we allow the priestess slowly to recover from trance. Now we look around for dead wood, which we put upon the fire, meaning that we discard the irrelevant, not destroy it, but transmute it into flame. We cast this wood on the fire. Do that in your mind. Cast everything irrelevant that you don't need into the fire, and it is returned to the goddess and reaches into the sky as smoke. And this beautiful scene of fires turning everyone ruddy and gold, and they're beginning to laugh and be happy, having been overcome by the oracle of the Morrigan herself. But now they're laughing as they look around for wood. You notice some children have joined in, and a large golden dog, Bo. Always the cats join in. White cat, black and white. Well, swell. Now the company hold hands, and we realise the Morrigan brings jollity. Fire does. It always cheers one up. Everybody holds hands, and in this dark, rainy morning, everyone dances widdershins, the path of the moon, round the fire, faster and faster, till the power is built up. Then they draw power from the earth and fire up into the air, and all send forth blessing, and the priest of the Morrigan sends forth blessing to the earth.
May the earth be blessed in the name of the Morrigan. May her fire light the fires of men.
The candidate also, having successfully passed the initiation, sends forth the blessings of her beauty and goodness.
The strong, deep beauty of the Morrigan be with us. Know her, and know her within yourselves.
Is all over? No, I believe there is more to come, because we honour the triple goddess in the land of the Gaels. The Ardri now declares that the ordeal of the goddess, the triple goddess brigade of the element of water, is to be undertaken.
That's the idea of the goddess brigade of water now be undertaken.
The Guardian, again, having brought the candidate through the two Guardian pillars, the trees of the grove, challenges the candidate as to whether he can face the ordeal of brigade. That does seem more harmless water, but this happens to be the well at the world's end, the well of truth.
Candidate, an ordeal by water now awaits you. Have you the courage to face the goddess Brigid and the ordeal which she has prepared for you?
With the inspiration and help of the goddess Brigid, I am willing.
You may proceed.
The Guardian now leads the candidate in this labyrinth around another path of the wilderness, this time twisting right round from southwest to the east and back again. So we still tread the labyrinth, and as it becomes more beautiful, we begin to see lovely flowers. The castle looms up before us, Polygore Castle, and we approach the portico of the Temple of Isis. The Guardian, in his stately white-draped robes, the bard, faces the candidate and asks him, does he feel he may approach the holy well with honour for the goddess Brigid? What does he feel of Brigid?
Candidate, do you feel worthy to approach into the presence of the goddess Brigid?
I have honour, therefore I am worthy.
You may approach.
The bard now leads the candidate into the darkness of the temple, and as he does so, the sun begins to rise and come through stained glass. The procession passes 9 pillars and swings to the right, and they face a gateway which is opened. There is an open well facing the candidate, but he is led into the inner sanctum, the Holy of Holies, and the company stand without, except for the Guardian. We wonder what is here. We see pictures of goddesses, many crystals. Suddenly we look, and in a niche is seated a figure, totally robed in white. The Guardian invokes the oracle of the goddess Brigid.
I invoke thee, O Brigid, and call upon thee to give us your oracle.
My dear son, you are welcome to our family. All belong to the family of the goddess, but though we know this, most of humanity have forgotten, and so they are lost and lonely. In your heart is the fire of love. Care for the earth, love for your wife, But have you gazed into my mirror? My mirror is still water. My mirror is the well. Truth must be faced. Many follow love with passion, the will, the determination to possess the beloved, and so perish. Few tread the path of truth, to face truth, unpleasant facts, with courage. It is almost impossible to do so, for the mind itself is the labyrinth, and humans will invent any excuse to defend their own opinions, their own ideals, their own vanity, their own ego. It is good to have ego, but it is part of the universe of all others. Friend, I do not see pride in you. Nonetheless, you need to gaze into this mirror. Gaze into still water of your mind, and from the deep well of inspiration you will attain unknown gifts, unknown inspiration. The words kill, words you stumble upon, words tie the soul. I want you and all my children to be creative, to invent, to know that I am original, and so are you, for you are son of the goddess. Go forth and create. The candidate rises from his knees and he straightens his back, and we feel that he has indeed received the oracle. The priestess, which is myself, the priestess of Brigid, gives him water. Behold the Holy Grail, drink from it. And receive the gifts of imagination, originality, creativity. The guardian declares that the candidate has passed the triple ordeals of the Danaans.
Candidate, you have passed all the ordeals placed before you. You are now kin to the goddess Morrigan.
So now, having been blessed by Dana, Morrigan and Brigid, the guardian leads the whole procession before the high altar of the goddess Isis of 10,000 names, one of which is Dana, one of which is Morrigan, one of which is Brigid. The great joy of the Druid clan of Dana is to go on magical journeys, joining heaven, fairy world, and earth. So now, the priestess of Morrigan, Vivian, helps us to create the flying space wheel of Manannon, which may reach the stars. We all join in the dance.
Let us through dance create Manannon's magic wheel that travels through time and space. We all stand in a circle, stretching our arms wide. We begin to move in the path of the sun, slowly, stately. We draw from the earth through our feet. We draw from water to create the crystalline sphere of air, and the fire within our hearts brings all the elements to create this shining sphere of Mannanan. Ourselves is the silent hub within the wheel, which allows us to travel. And as we close our eyes, we begin to see with the inner vision. A guide appears with silver tongue and golden hair. She is the lovely Nia, who guided Ashin to Tir Nanog, land of immortality. She bears the sign of that land, a silver branch, from which hangs 3 golden apples. As she moves her hand, the wheel begins to whirl around us at ever-increasing speed. We hear her song, and her song lifts us to the land of our heart's desire.
Suddenly the priestess of Dana grants us the movement. But movement through the spheres is created by sound. Now, the company, half in the next world, watch the crowning of the Ardri. Vivian, his wife, places round his neck ivy garland. I give him the great dread star. We have to represent the 3 goddesses. The priestess of Dana crowns him with a chaplet of oak leaves, and the Ardri declares that he is Ardri, initiate of the dread clan of Dana.
I declare that the candidate is now an initiate of the druid clan of Dana.
All welcome and accept him. I welcome you, my friend, my son, my child. welcome. And his dear wife, welcome to.
I welcome you, my husband, to the Druid clan.
He now expresses his ideals as Ardri.
I am Ardri, Druid of the clan. I am one with my brothers and sisters, with the goddess, with the earth. My healing shall bring forth new to this land. I shall return that which was taken, and give that which I receive. Let all know that Chris Ardri is here and will remain.
We ourselves are exalted with joy. And now, however, we begin to see that we must leave in this state of exaltation, for the beautiful wheel of Manannan is slowly being dissolved. The company are giving thanks to the deity. Rise up now into the air and gaze down upon this holy place, knowing that your place is also holy. Return to your earthly body. Come back fully. I'm Olivia Robertson of the Fellowship of Isis and the Druid clan of Dana, Clonigor Castle, Enniscorthy, South Island, and do write to us at any time. Shlante.